You are all highly welcome to this extraordinary meeting of the National Executive Council of our great party. You will recall that our party has been engulfed in leadership crisis since early last year, which culminated into the Supreme Court judgment of the 4th of April this year, which finally put to rest all the erroneous rulings of the lower court. It is a fact that the leaders of the party have, at various occasions, intervened to resolve the leadership crisis in the party, but these interventions failed because they fell short of the demands of the party constitution, the Electoral Act, and the highly acceptable legally mutual agreement of the parties, popularly referred to as the consent judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja. After the last one-year tenure extension of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee in Asaba Delta State by the National Executive Council for the party in 2023, the Julius Abure-led National Working Committee, in total disregard to the party's constitution, Electoral Act, and the consent judgment, went ahead to conduct a town hall meeting at Nnewi, Anambra State on March 27, 2024, and termed it the National Convention of the Labour Party. This town hall meeting was rejected by the custodians of the party and the stakeholders because it fell short of the minimum requirement of the consent judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja, the party constitution, and the Electoral Act of 2022, which granted the party members the right to elect delegates at the state congresses that will vote at the National Convention to elect the party leadership. Most party leaders boycotted the Nnewi Town Hall meeting because neither the party's constitution nor the Electoral Act was a contestant allowed to conduct his own election and select the voters that will vote in the election he or she is contesting. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, duly rejected the Nnewi Town Hall meeting because it was not done in accordance with the Electoral Act, Section 83, subsection 135 of 2022, which says that, and I quote, every registered political party shall give INEC at least a 21-day notice of any convention, congress, conference, or meeting convened for the purpose of merger and electing members of its executive committees, other governing bodies, or nominating candidates for any of the elective offices specified in this act, failure of which renders such meetings, congresses, conventions invalid. The INEC has also affirmed that there was no evidence of congresses at the state level to elect delegates that will vote at the convention. All these anomalies rendered Barrister Julius Abure's alleged convention totally invalid. In order to remedy the situation, the Nigeria Labour Congress Political Commission and the stakeholders set up the National Transition Committee on the 23rd of May, 2024, last year, to midwife an all-inclusive Congress and conventions in accordance with the Federal High Court consent judgment. Though the INEC was notified, the INEC refused the recognition of the NTC, the National Transition Committee, due to the non-compliance with the party's constitution, as in Article 14, Section 2B, subsection 18, subsection 14, and the Electoral Act, Section 82135 of 2022, in setting up the National Transition Committee. After June 8, 2024, the INEC declared from her record that the tenure of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee had expired, and there was no valid leadership for the party. Then, Barrister Abure went to 2 separate courts to challenge the position of INEC on Labour Party leadership and the NTC NLC for attempting to recover the party. On September 4th, last year, 2024, the stakeholders met in Umuahia and set up the National Caretaker Committee of the party, which was allegedly not recognized by the INEC because, according to INEC, it was not done in accordance with the party's constitution, as again in Article 14, subsection 2, and Electoral Act, section 82135 of 2022. The National Caretaker Committee and INEC appealed to the Supreme Court, and in line with the constitutional justice, the Supreme Court nullified the erroneous rulings of the lower courts, thereby affirming the earlier position of INEC that the tenure of Barrister Abure-led National Working Committee had expired. With the expiration of the tenure of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee, coupled with the non-recognition of any other National Working Committee by INEC, as explained above, the leadership of the party's Board of Trustees, who are members of the National Executive Council with the first line of responsibility to the party, and also without any issue of non-recognition by INEC or tenure expiration, have decided to call for this special NEC meeting of the party for the purpose of reinvigorating the party. This special National Executive Council meeting is called in accordance with the party's constitution, Article 14, Section 2B, the Electoral Act, Section 8, subsection 135 of 2022, and mandatory 21 days minimum notice is complied with, a 28 days advance notice to INEC, which we actually complied with. It is noteworthy that some key stakeholders of the party are also invited to witness the proceedings of this special NEC meeting. It is in this wise that we are welcoming all of you here so that you witness the NEC in session. It is our strong conviction that a process towards the election of a credible leadership of our dear party will emerge from this NEC meeting. Consequently, we invite all of you who are NEC members to make your contribution toward these issues that currently surround our party.
To constitute the committee, the NCC, I have not ceased going to the NLC for one consultation or the other. And I've also have tried in my own way through Professor Ndubuagu to make sure that the TUC and the NLC are carried along in everything we do. And that is why when they looked at what the Labour Party is going through, how we have had one tussle or the other, how we have tried to get over this tussle so that we can organize congresses right from the ward to the National Convention and elect new leaders and hand over to them. When they noticed in their wisdom that we were having some issues, even after the Supreme Court had given verdict in our favor, they thought it wise to organize today's meeting, and I believe that by the time they put their heads together, we shall have some answers to the issues we have been going through. I must say that it's really very unfortunate that a great party like ours that has structures everywhere in the nation, there is no polling unit that you go to that you won't find either a nurse, a primary school teacher, one worker or the other that is the backbone of the Labour Party. None. There is no village, no polling unit. So I believe that if only we can get our act right, we are going to be the biggest party in this country.
Absolutely.
So, you know, those who know how to talk and talk in proverbs always say that when you see people stoning a tree, it means that that tree is laden with lots of fruits. So for the Labour Party to be going through all that we are going through is because our detractors have noticed the potentials of the party. Absolutely. And that is why they do not want to allow us to make any progress. But I want to plead with you all that the basic thing we have to lay on the ground as of today is to look at our party. How do we go back right from the grassroots to mobilize our members, have them register once more. For those who were not registered before, can register. Those who are registered can revalidate their registration. Then we now go on to start having congresses from the ward level so that people who want to lead us from the ward can come, contest election, win. From there we go and have local government congresses. After that we have the state congresses. We do the zonal ones. Come and have a big national convention here, elect credible leaders and hand over to them. Anybody who wants to lead a political party but does not want to go through election, I think there's something wrong with that person. For me, as I've always said, right from the day I was announced as the chairman of the NCC, my dream is to lead a team that will make sure that these congresses and elections happen and that credible leaders take over so that our party can become the party it's meant to be. So I believe and I pray that, as we say in Hausa, so I believe that all of us coming together, particularly, you know, I like it, the fact that the BOT, if you notice, they are men of age. And what they see sitting down, we may not see it even if we climb the roof of this building. And they have gone through so much in Nigeria and have known how Nigeria works. So I believe that they will use their wisdom and wealth of experience to help to guide us in such a way that we will achieve that which we our set objectives. I want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to say these few words with a prayer that God Almighty will see us through and that at the end, victory certainly will be ours.
Especially want to also recognize the acting national chairman of the Labour Party, Comrade Ninade E. Usman, PhD, on this high table. And let me also specially recognize the Board of Trustees of the Labour Party. For me, I wouldn't be able to speak the way I speak with force. You know, the person I'm representing is a gentle person. He speaks normally from a gentle angle. So, and all the time I had the opportunity to represent him, I tried to want to, you know, tune down the way I speak. So it's not easy. But the fact remains that Nigeria is going through a lot at the moment. This country needs to be saved, and it is a collective responsibility for all of us to put our hands on deck. And Labour Party has been chosen as the favorite party to be able to deliver that, deliver Nigerians from the bad leadership and the misadministration, you know, corruption and mismanagement of our public funds. And if you look at the decision the party have taken all along, it's all to the best to try to reposition the party and have a party that the people have so much confidence in to drive the process towards the 2027 general election and beyond. For the decision of INEC and whatever decision they are taking, we think that the Supreme Court judgment have come and it come the right time. And INEC, as soon as they meet within their commission, they should look at the decision in a way that will reflect the true position of the law, that will reflect the true position of reality, and that will also reflect, because if you look at the name Independent Electoral Commission, there's independent in the front. So let's make sure that it's also justified integrity and also, you know, continue to bear that name so that Nigerian people trust and confidence in the commission will continue to be strengthened. Because one decision, one failed decision every time will undermine the interest and confidence the Nigerian citizens have in the commission. For us, we must work in unison. We must try to be united from all fronts. With the Nanande Usman led the National Caretaker Committee as acting chairman, and we must be united with the NLC and the TUC, because there's no way you look at their structure and how they have struggled to keep this, to form this party in 2002, the vision they had for the party, and the interest of the party to be able to defend the both the interest of the Nigerian workers and the interest of the citizens at large. So it is a great commitment coming from every citizens of this country, and including those who are especially members of the Labour Party, to continue to have confidence that these issues shall be resolved in our favor, because we are on the right path of law. Both the electoral, the constitution of our party, the constitution of Nigeria, and the supreme judgment that came from the Supreme Court. So whatever we are doing here is just to be able to add more flesh, to add more body to the decisions that our leaders have been taking, from the time that they were able to go to the Supreme Court. If you look at, if we had not had leadership, if we had not had leadership in place that were proactive and committed, like what the acting chairman, Nana Usman, did by going to join in becoming the party in that case, the hyperland in that case, and went up to the Supreme Court to challenge that decision and defeated the lies and the misrepresentation of facts, we will still be here looking at how to deal with the issue. So their leadership must be commended for how much they have struggled to set the record straight. So I want to stand. And finally, nobody should give up hope. We're on the right path.
Because they're afraid of that level. And that was why we registered as Party for Social Democracy before changing our name to Labour Party. So nothing has changed. Whether military or civilian government, they are afraid of the word Labour. And they will fight tooth and nail to destabilize Labour. Whether it's Labour Party or Labour Congress. That is what you are seeing. And there is no worker, no Labour leader that is not conscious of this. It is what we are, the potentials we have, that is attracting all this attack. Where on earth does a court rule when there is a consent judgment? Where on earth? If you have a consent judgment and you are still hearing that another court is ruling against it, it's only in a banana republic that got happen. No court rules against a consent judgment. It has never, it's not appealable anywhere. But you are seeing the joke. Somebody came and said, okay, we agree by this. You are signed. You went to court. You adopted it. And you are ruling again. What are you ruling on? What is happening here? Because it's Labour Party. So when people talk about Supreme Court ruling, I've been wondering, could Supreme Court have ruled against the consent judgment or in favor? The Supreme Court ruling is not a do-it-all. That's the fact. And that's why those of us in the Labour movement believe that there is need for this meeting. Since that time, you have been hearing discordant voices from people. It's not the Supreme Court that registered the Labour Party. It is not. They are not the people that will organize it for us. And that is why we are here today. All agencies of government are involved in this destabilization plot. Tell them, all. So it's better you understand it clearly and tell them that they should remove their hands in the organization of the Workers' Party. That is a sin for you to destabilize the Workers' Party. All over the world, the Labour Party is organized and run by the trade unions all over the world. Over 57 countries of the world have functional Labour parties in operation. The British TUC, has been in existence for as long as possible, and they were even using the teachers' union office there for operation. So why would Nigeria be different? Why would Nigerians put eyes on Labour Party here? And these are questions that is happening all over the world. So we want to urge you, because it is not NLC, it's a party formed by the Congress and given to Nigerians with clear-cut ideology. This is the only party where the son of nobody can become somebody. If you check the last 2023 election, you see Okada riders winning an election to go to National Assembly.
Unprecedented.
It has never happened. You and I cannot buy a form of 10 million, 100 million. Now, should we not be able to express, our aspiration to lead, even at the councillorship level? That is what we are saying. those of us from the labor movement cannot sit down here and allow people to decree that you pay 20 million, pay 30 million as to pick nomination form. If we do that, we have lost our focus of having a party that is the people, the working people's party. So the NLC is ever committed in making sure that our party works. And we defend it. It's a party that all Nigerians should come in and contest. As we talk today, nobody from the NLC is in the National Assembly. But they are Nigerians that came in to run. See, it's not like we say it's a party we will use. It's only Labour Party that will contest. No. But it's a party for all Nigerians. All of you here. Wherever, from all walks of it. Party for farmers, party for lecturers, party for teachers, party for artisans. Party for the downtrodden of the world. And it is because of this party for the poor that those oppressors are afraid of. There's nothing else. And it is the poor and the oppressed that vote. That is the fear. And as Labour, he that is down needs no fear. We're already down. So those who want to join Labour Party from other parties should come. But is this an institutional party? We know the defect. NLC and TUC leadership that you are seeing that are institutional members, we know the defect now. So we are here. When politicians defect, we see they where we live. Soldier come, soldier go. Barracks remain. So this is our party. Beg them. You know, it remains our party from the beginning to the end. As many as are coming in, you see they will still defect. But we still they where we did. Because constitutionally, you see, as NEC president, I'm an automatic member of this NEC. If I leave, I don't come out. If I leave, I cannot defect. But now, I can't defect. We have to stay here and organize the party for those who equally want to use it, you know, to run. But from time to time, we tell them that this party, if you have to run on the platform of this party, you have to have a human feeling. Feel that people have not been paid their salary, people have not been paid their pension, you know, people are suffering. Their minimum wage is not enough. All this increase on tariff, on telecom, on electricity, they are affecting people. Those are the things we are saying. You know, we are not plotting coup for anybody. We are not working against anybody. So I think it is clear, and it should be made clear, that no amount of blackmail, because all that we have passed through is because they felt we have a link with the Labour Party. The NLC is still in possession of the Labour Party certificate till tomorrow. And I have written the INEC that if anybody is parading an affidavit or a photocopy, that person should be tried for deliberate perjury. You can't declare a certificate missing if you are not the holder of that certificate. So if there's anybody parading himself, the person, the full weight of the law should be, you know, unleashed on him. You can't write INEC that certificate which you are not the custodian is missing. Then you are a thief. So this is clear today for people who are saying they are gambling with our party. And all the people you are seeing, some of them are our boys that have fallen astray. They have lost their way because of the people's side of office. We're not going to discuss it here now. We're reorganizing the Labour Party. And at the end of today, we'll have a kind of outline. Within the next 1 month, we'll have to finish with sensitization and mobilization. This is how we're going to do it. We'll have to have a mobilization and sensitization and membership drive working. the next other years, we'll do all the congresses. We're going to do all the congresses. And that is what is required of us. It's the People's Party. When we do the congresses up to national, it is only when, yes, from the words, it's only when you people organize NEC meeting, maybe some of us will come. This is my first NEC meeting. Yeah, I've never attended a NEC meeting before. But this one, since things don't reach at this level, the owners of the party, like Madam said, yes, or the founders of the party, we owe it a duty to come up to put the party in order. When we finish, we'll go back to our office. I'm not contesting election under any party. But this party and previous leaders of this party who were NLC president, they play this role I'm playing. If I finish here, I hand it over to another person. On that note, that was why I needed to thank Convenes Jofo, who was the founding chairperson of the party. When he spoke this morning, you know that that vibe is still there. So he's not just the chairman of the BOT, but he's somebody with institutional memory of the party up to this moment. And the presence of, we were there when we welcomed Mimiko, and we lost him to defection. So don't be surprised if you are hearing this gale of defections. But the Labour Party, like I said, is an institutional party, and we have to maintain it that way. We are not quarreling with anybody, we are not fighting with anybody, but we have to organize it that if any worker, whether retired or serving, wants to run for an office, Labour Party is available for them. I don't. And we should not allow it to be hijacked. Thank you very much. God bless all of you and sustain you in this struggle to reclaim the Labour Party. One journalist was asking me that I asked all workers to be on standby. Yes, yes, this is the time to move. I sent a letter after the Supreme Court judgment that every worker, every state council should be on standby. In the next few days, everybody will move into action.